Welcome, everybody, to an exciting edition of the Triple B Experience. I'm your host, Bad Bubba Brewer, and I also got my other sidekick doing these interviews this evening from Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk. It is Larry Stryker. Larry, how you doing this evening?
Hey, Bubba. Exciting exciting night right now. You know, we're going to be talking with Henry Godwinn.
Yeah, I'm very excited. This is first that we combined doing this both podcasts together, Larry. So I'm honored that you could come on and take some of your a little bit of your time because of your busy schedule to come on. And I am very honored that Henry Godwinn can actually find the time, because he's very, very busy, that he can come on and talk about some stuff that's going on that he's going to be taking part of in Western Pennsylvania in the week of August 24th. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to bring to the Triple B Experience two-time WWE Tag Team Champion and wrestler extraordinaire and one heck of a nice guy, Mr. Henry Godwinn. Sir, how you doing this evening?
Whoa. What up, Bubba? Larry? We're going to get this show
started.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Glad you guys are free and had me on today.
Well, I know we've been texting back and forth and stuff, and you're coming to Western Pennsylvania. And before I get to say why you're coming to Western Pennsylvania, do you have an exciting memories of coming to this side of the state when you come to Pennsylvania?
Oh my God, Pittsburgh was always our place. We got so many memories in Pittsburgh. Yeah, we always had a good time.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, Pittsburgh is you've been in some hellacious events in Pittsburgh, tagging up and going singles and stuff like that. But you're coming to the area August 24th for the APWF. You're good friends with Potter, and we're going to get the display here, ladies and gentlemen, here.
I am very good friend.
There we go. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about it?
If you're in the area, if you're in the area, August 24th, come out to the Comicon there, ADP, and support and show some love. We're gonna have a bunch of people there. I'll be there signing, so it ought to be a good time.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but you've probably been to a lot of cons. Signing autographs and stuff like that. And Potter told me this is the most economically sound Comicon that I ever heard of, because I do go to a lot. So it's $5, and that is unheard of. You ever hear about that, Henry? $5 to get into this con?
No, nothing like that. That is special.
Yeah. So what are you going to have for the fans when you're coming to the ADP Con? What will fans expect that Saturday afternoon?
Well, some of our new dolls came in, so I'll have a few of those, and we got tons of pictures. Might find some shirts, and but just a good time, meet new people and meet new fans and meet old fans, and just a time to have fellowship and enjoy each other's company and have a good weekend. Because the night's young, the day's young. I got a long night because I'm going to be traveling somewhere else, ain't I?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And before we talk about that, you said you had action figures and dolls. Now, do you have stuff patented or stuff like that, or do you be creative on your own getting those?
No, this is from Toys. Just come out with our little the wrestling buddies, me and Phineas. So I'll have some of those there, and we got some new pictures, and it'll be a good time.
Yeah, I know Potter him and his family has been doing a lot for this con. They went out to the San Diego con because Eddie got an award, and he showed me the video, and I was honored that he sent it to me that I could see it, and it'll be a great day because the family has come together in this event, and I know Potter reached out to you personally to
Yeah.
see if you could come out, and you and your friendship with Potter is a positive thing in the wrestling community and outside, because this is more than just professional wrestling. Saturday afternoon, is it not?
Oh yeah, and Potter. I mean that whole crew. He's been good to me, and always checked on me, and I did it with him and his family too. So it's a great cause, but it's going to be more than just a signing. It's going to be a celebration of his brother that passed. So we'll be celebrating Eddie's life too.
Yeah, he was a great artist and a great comic book. He's an icon in the comic book world, and everybody come down to West Mifflin for the Eddie P Con. You could see Mr. Henry Godwinn signing autographs. He's got action figures. He's got wrestling buddies. He's got shirts. You don't have the bucket of what do you call it, Larry?
Flop.
You don't take that on there on the adventures, do you, Henry?
Well, sometimes, of course, what we're leading into, up at AWPF, right?
The Allied Power, APWF. That's right, because you're coming in to sign autographs.
Things could get sloppy up there. You never know. If I get the itching to throw some.
Oh no!
Yes.
What kind of stuff you put in that bucket? I mean, I've seen it back in the day, but how did it? I think Larry had a couple questions.
We had regular
about that.
slop. Yeah, we had a regular slop, just a basic slop, and then we had, of course, the sunny slop. Everybody knows about the sunny slop.
Yeah, I think me and Larry heard about that one once or twice.
Yeah, even Cornette said on the Vice channel a while back, he said there was 23 different DNAs in that bucket that night.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
I know 5 of them.
You're gonna plead the fifth, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Their initials were Razor and 1, 2, 3 Kid. So
so and we are honored, me and Larry and the APWF staff are honored that you can come on tonight, and we're honored that you can come in and sign autographs and meet the fans like you're going to be doing all day, and we do appreciate it, because I know it's going to be a long day, but ladies and gentlemen, you guys will be able to talk to Henry, get some pictures and autographs and stuff like that. So it's at the Castle facility, and we are honored that you're be able to we were able to get you, sir. So
yeah,
I mean, it's
you've
had a great career
that night. What's a couple of good matches to watch?
Well, the main event, Henry, is big time Bill Collier. You saw him numerous times at IWC champion. He's the longest reigning IWC champion in history. He will be in the main event against NWA superstar Spencer Slade. We have Slade. Yeah, that's a main event match anywhere. So I'm glad that those guys were available. And then we have the first ladies match in over 15 years. Alexis Sin versus Slammin' Sammy. And then we got the world beater Chris Coleman and the Rad Boys. So we got a slew of wrestlers, because sometimes in the APWF we can't book everybody, but I'm honored that some of the guys are available, and I have an open door policy. So that's what I try to do. So,
that's where you got to be creative and let people in, right?
You're right. And speaking of being creative and knowledgeable, your wrestling career has been very illustrious. So how long were you in the business, if the people that don't know?
I started in 1989 with George South and Italian, and worked 2 years here in Virginia, West Virginia, Carolina, Tennessee. working with them for 2 years, worked my ass off, worked 16 times in 4 days was my record, wrestling as Russian Assassin and then coming out as Mean Mark Canterbury.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I told George at the gathering this weekend in Charlotte when I was down there that he taught me the knowledge and the smartness of it. And Stal was the rough physicality. That's where I got my physicality from, was Italian Stallion. Of course, George taught me, George could have a 30-minute match with a broomstick. So,
Wow.
but yeah, 2 years. And then they were taking me down. I was an extra at WCW and wrestled Eric Watts at center stage one night. And after that, Jody Hamilton come up to me and asked me if I could work with Eric on the road sometime. And I said, yeah, when? He says, well, can you go tonight? So I said, without thinking, I said, hell yeah. I was like, it was crazy. I've never had a feeling like that, really, besides my kids being born. It was an awesome feeling. So Arn Anderson and some of the boys were giving me clothes because all I brought was my gear and what I wore to TV. And then we were going back home that night. So I had some Orange clothes. I had some Styles clothes and a couple of other boys.
Did they fit yet? Was it loose or was it a little snug?
Some of it was a little loose. I was only about 280 then.
That's still pretty big though.
Yeah, that's how I got my start in WCW. And then, I worked Eric for a week on the road, and they said, we want to offer you a job. We're looking for your partner. And then Tex come in, and shit, the rest is history. 32 years me and him been together. And
that's amazing.
They call us the 1%ers because usually tag teams don't get along and don't room together and don't talk, but we're just the opposite. So,
well, how can you just said that? So how does that 1%er make you and Phineas different than other tag teams that were around at that time?
Oh my God! For instance, a lot of the guys when they come do these shows, they get their own rooms. With us, the promoters, they get one room because me and Phineas we like each other's company. We've been that way since we started in WCW in '92 together. And over that career together, we've come up with some creative matches and just some cool moves and scenarios just by rooming together. So, no, it's just a good friendship, just like the BSK, our little BSK group with Taker.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that, but you've already beat me to the punch.
Well, we can talk about that. I'm sitting in front of the BSK wall right now.
Oh, okay. So that was all you guys combined, if the people don't know, because and you guys used to, what was the game that you guys played?
We used to play dominoes like at TVs or before a house show. We'd go play an hour or so of dominoes, and it was usually Yoko and Rikishi, Godfather, me, and Taker.
Who was the best player?
Oh my God. Yoko was pretty damn good, and Godfather was pretty good.
Okay. And would Taker be okay if he lost?
Yeah. Yoko, he would destroy a table putting that last one down, Domino, the bones would fly. But had some good games, and just the diversity of the BSK, we always talk about it. We got along so good and tried to help each other and be there for each other in our careers and even our personal life. We know a lot on each other and personal, but it's just been a good brotherhood, and hopefully we're going to do something this year coming up together at have a BSK podcast maybe with Taker.
Is this the first time ever? Did anybody heard about this? Is this news breaking?
Well, he put something out. Ida on the 6 Feet Under. He said if they get 1 million subscribers to the 6 Feet Under podcast, we're going to do a BSK podcast at WrestleMania, and everybody will be there. So,
oh wow,
if he can get those subscribers to his podcast, we're all going to be in Las Vegas.
Nice.
So we're hoping, praying they get 1 million subscribers.
Henry. So, in case people don't know, what does BSK stand for?
BSK stands for Bone Street Crew. The crew spelled with a K. And man, we kept it. Nobody knew for so many years, so long, and then somebody let it out of the bag. But
how did you guys keep it quiet? Because nothing's quiet in wrestling, as we all know.
Yeah, well, Rikishi's famous words when somebody would ask him, "If we tell you, we got to kill you." So that was Rikishi's favorite saying. If I tell you, I got to kill you.
That's a t-shirt slogan right there.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because your guys' domino games are legendary throughout the wrestling community, and it was like you said, it was like a brotherhood, and it's always a positive thing. So that's what I want to be, always positive. And you guys are still brothers to this day, and will be brothers the rest of your life. Now, how did you guys had anybody else that you guys just had in but didn't? They weren't nominated, but they were like an associate member.
Brian Adams, he hung out with us some, but he was more like an honorary member, and Paul Bear was an honorary member, but yeah, it was a good crew, man.
Yeah. That I'm sure those domino games got heated though. I bet.
Just not really heated, but competitive, almost
competitive. I'm gonna get off this subject real quick, but who was the one that created the words? Who come up with the concept of the BSK?
Taker and Yoko. And then we went out one night, and we were in a club somewhere, and all of a sudden Yoko just, when we walked in, he just hollered out, Bone Street Crew in the house, bitches. And then it took off from there.
And nobody said nothing in that bar, I bet, because all their heads probably turned like, oh God, it's going to get really bad here. We better lock down the...
He had toboggans made. I still got mine somewhere. It's black with gold, says BSK. It was pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you guys had like a ring or a hat or a shirt, but you already told me you guys got hats. That's pretty cool. So
now we got BSK shirts, and so it's pretty cool.
Nice. So let's keep with the WWE theme. When you and Phineas, was tagging up, and maybe you could tell the people how you felt when you captured your first tag team title.
Oh my God, that one was real special because it was in the biggest venue of wrestling, Madison Square Garden. There was 20-some thousand people. They said the fire marshal that night was going crazy because people would stand in the aisles, but it was a crazy night, a lot of fun. But man, that's another one of them rare feeling moments, I always tell this story sometimes. I was wearing the John Deere hat that night, and I was so excited I jumped up around Hillbilly's neck. I remember grabbing that hat and throwing it out in the crowd. Well, we did a signing about 6 months later up there in New York City, and the guy brought my hat that I threw out in the crowd, and I signed it for him. And I knew it was my hat because I had put under the cover, I had written hog. So I knew if you brought it back and that hog was under that lid, it was my hat, and it was. So I signed it.
Nice.
But just
that's
cool
like
that.
That's a 1 in a million. So, and how, and you were, the anticipation of being, what's the difference, if you could tell everybody the difference of chasing the titles to becoming the tag team champions?
Oh my God. It's I don't know, it wears you out chasing. You're on point the whole time, but it's just it's a rare feeling to just think back. It's not every day that somebody gets to hold the belt of WWE Tag Team Champs. So it's just a big honor.
Yeah, because it's not a lot of people. And when you said 1%, 1% of the people in the world actually held those titles, tag team or heavyweight title or any title in the WWE. The 1% is probably all you guys that actually been in the WWE that actually completed a career, because
it's hard too. But I was taught when I said 1%, I was meaning as far as a tag team and their relationship getting along, because I've heard horror stories over the years of tag team partners not getting along, and hating each other and hating each other's families and this and that.
Oh, wow.
And me and Phineas, 32 years, have never had one cross word, and our families loved each other. So it made it easy for me and him to do our thing,
That's awesome. That's awesome. And before we get out of here, let's talk about the feud with you and Mr. Triple H. How did that come about? And in that lovely gimmick match,
we got our walking papers from WCW. Me and Phineas, me and Tex and Hunter about the same time, because I was up there a year before Phineas come up, but Hunter had come up, and they said a stinky hog farmer from Bitters, Arkansas, and a fancy pants blue blood, that might draw a little bit of money. So, man, when they put us together, we were married about 6 months, and Hunter was a trooper, because he got slopped every night, and we'd have to wash our damn stuff out, and he'd hang it in a hotel room. So I give props to him for hanging in there and getting slop, but he got good slop, so he didn't get no bad ones.
Hey, what's your opinion on Triple H now running all the stuff that's going on right now in the WWE?
Oh man, I don't know. Maybe I should have asked Stephanie out before him. No, I love both of them. They're great people, and they work hard. And Hunter's going to do some good things, man. I do believe.
Now, do you have you and Phineas? Do you guys have legend contracts pretty close to coming, or do you guys have one yet?
No, not yet. It'd be nice. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I'll have to call them up for you, because you guys did a lot of stuff in that era that, and you wrestled a lot of teams.
Yeah.
And
involved in a lot of good tag teams back then,
Yeah. So
Marty and Al, the Harris twins, and LaFawn, and
Doug Furness. Was that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Blackjacks, and we loved working the Headbangers, and it's just a great group of guys back then.
Who was the toughest team in the WWE, or the toughest team that you and Phineas ever faced?
Man, we had they weren't the toughest, but they were quick. We had some good quarrels with Bagwell and Scorpio. We always enjoyed them.
Oh wow, that's a unique. I didn't expect that answer.
Yeah, go back to WCW at Beach Blast. We wrestled. That's who we worked at Beach Blast, and Blackjack Mulligan was our agent that night for the match, and what a hell of a match! He was so proud and excited. So that sticks out. And but the Headbangers, and just we worked Hawk and Animal. We made it through that. Of course, I broke my neck, but
How that was, how long was you out? I mean, because that just doesn't happen. Was that
Well,
when you got when you got the finisher? I think.
yeah, yeah. I didn't feel comfortable doing it that night because Hawk wasn't himself. But I didn't
Oh,
stooge him to the office. I just told them I wasn't comfortable doing it, and they said, "Well." Phineas spoke up, said, "I've taken it before. I'll do it." And they said, "Well, the office wants Henry to do it." And then the animal spoke up and said, "Well, we can go down as together, like the electric chair." And they said, "No, they want him to take the flip." So sure enough,
wow.
I flipped, broke my neck. That was in Binghamton, New York. I was supposed to take 14 weeks off and have another MRI. Hell, I was back on the road in 6.5 weeks. Vince
Oh,
had,
holy shit!
yeah,
Wow.
he had a trainer with me, and I wrestled in September of '98. We were supposed to get the belts for the third time at TV. We were actually at switched over to Southern Justice
Okay, I
and
remember that. Yep.
Jeff Jarrett that night, and we were supposed to win the belts from Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. And before we went out, they told me that Vince wanted me to come home and have an MRI and get it all checked out before they dropped the belts on us again. So I come home and did that and had spinal fusion that December. Me and Stone Cold had the same, I think, C6, C7 fusion about the same time.
Wow.
Wow.
Southern
Yeah.
Justice was going to be something. They were really excited about the Southern Justice thing.
Yeah, because you guys had a look of two badass individuals dressed to the kilt that could go
Yeah,
in and be professional as you kick somebody's ass.
yeah, yeah. It was really going to be good. That's one of my regrets of that. I should have just said, "Hell no, I ain't doing it." But I didn't. But it's part of being in the business. Shit happens.
Well, I mean, I like your positive attitude. I mean, because some people you wouldn't have that positive attitude like you're
Yeah,
presenting right now.
I loved both of them to death. Still do miss them, but they were hard to work with.
I bet they were extremely tough. So,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Some of those bitches.
Yeah. Yeah. So before we get out of here, Henry, I know Larry got some questions and I got some questions for you. So, Larry, go ahead and take it for Mr. Godwinn.
All right. So first thing, Henry, I first met you in Johnstown, Pennsylvania in 1995 at an Action Zone taping, and you wrestled Bret the Hitman Hart, and you actually signed my souvenir cup that night. So I never forgot that.
Awesome.
Yep. Yep.
I
I don't know where that cup's at now, but damn it, but I remember you signing it.
Well, you get another cup and we'll sign it again.
Absolutely. I will take that offer up on the 24th.
All right. And I really enjoyed that 2 weeks I worked Bret. I remember that now. Just watched it not too long.
He was smooth to work. He was the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
He was fun. Somebody asked me on a podcast who I would have liked to have had a run with, if I was still singles or whatever. And Bret was one of them. That would have been, holy crap, that would have been so much fun. Taker would have been fun. Stone Cold, man. I wrestled Mankind in Vancouver because his opponent, it was a pay-per-view, and I think it was Jake didn't show up, so I got to wrestle Mankind at Vancouver in a pay-per-view. But yeah, there was a lot of people I would have liked to have worked with. Me and Taker and me and Kevin Nash on Raw, we had hell of a matches, so it would have been fun.
Absolutely. Nice. So Henry, what is your favorite chicken wing flavor?
Oh,
I'm putting you on the spot.
Spicy garlic.
Oh, okay. All right. What is your favorite football team?
You know, I'm on the Buffalo train right now.
Who did you like growing up? Who did you like growing up?
The Redskins.
Mm.
We were Redskins.
John Riggins. Those guys.
Riggos Rangers, man. The Hogs.
We'll have to get you to get into the colors of the black and gold, the Steeler colors.
I didn't say nothing.
I like the Steelers, man. I do. I was a Ben fan. Oh, Big
Me
Ben.
too. I love Big Ben.
Sure.
And
Me
the
too.
bus.
Yep.
Hines. There was some badasses back. But I'm talking about way back. I like Lambert. Oh, yeah.
Bradshaw, Mean Joe Green. Yep.
Yeah. Now you're talking.
Yeah. Shows my age.
Henry, if you wasn't a pro wrestler, what other occupation would you probably have if you wasn't a pro wrestler?
Probably a big farmer. Because we got 10 acres now here in West Virginia, and we raise hogs and chickens, and we've had goats, and my whole family growing up were either contractors or farmers or both. So yeah, I love the country and love the outdoors. So it definitely would have been something in that field.
Oh, very cool. So you really can bring pig slop on the 24th, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I got a bucket up there.
Yes, perfect. So speaking of the slop bucket, what did the slop bucket smell like, and who was your favorite person you ever slopped?
Well, I had fun with Ted DiBiase. He was the first one that ever got slopped, and he got slopped 3 times. So the first time he took it, he ate it. That was fine. The next 2 times, he made Vince eat the 2 suits. So he made Vince buy his suits after that because we were ruining his suits slopping so much. And of course, I enjoyed Sonny. I didn't slop her. Phineas did, but that was like a big release.
Let me ask you a question on that. I mean, I don't want to. I'm a big positive podcaster, and I try to do whatever. But we've had her on a show on the APWF a long, long time ago, and she treated everybody not very good. And she was upset because the other girls were taking her limelight. And I mean, that's just probably maybe that's how she was. I don't know.
That's how.
Okay, so I mean, everything that's happened to her lately, she was never ever like a good person. Like I don't want to bash nobody or nothing like that, but
no.
I mean, she could have been a lot better than she was, and how she treated people, and situations now have transpired that in a bad and a negative light, and she's going to be that stain will be a negativity around her career.
All of hers is self-inflicted. She had the wrestling by the short hairs. I mean, she could have done anything, but she chose to be an ass sometimes and just go the opposite direction, which made her very ugly. But this weekend, very rare that we have, we were on the magazine, the WWE magazine, of us slopping her. Well, we signed 2 this weekend with triple signings, and those guys were just like, I want one myself. Me and Phineas got one of us signed it, but if we could get Sonny to sign it. So we've been saying we're going to send our magazine to her and put $100 on her books. She'll sign it.
She'll definitely sign it for 150. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, and you're right when you said that, for a lady who had all the outer beauty, the ugliness of inside cost her a lot.
Cost her whole career. I mean, look what she's done. She's threw it all away. I mean, 7 DUIs, killed an innocent man. I mean, come on, man. Enough. There's got to be consequences somewhere, and the justice system ought to have their ass beat too.
Yeah, people should be held accountable when you do stuff. Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. So, Larry, you have any more questions?
That is it, Mr. Godwinn. Thank you for answering all my questions. I appreciate it.
Okay, I have a couple. Henry, what's that?
Have a good time there, Larry.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to meet you.
I have a couple before we get out of here, Henry.
Sure.
When you got into professional wrestling, how did your family feel about it when you got into the business?
They were excited, but they didn't think it was going to go anywhere. And then, man, when I got that break, and Dusty hired me. Dusty and Cowboy Bill Watts gave me my first job. My first job, Dusty come up with the whole gimmick from a Western. He loved the gunfight at OK Corral. And there was 2 guys in the movie, and the old movie, that were Tex Schlesinger and Shanghai Pearson. They were ranchers, cattlemen. So that's how we got our name from Dusty in that movie. So nice. I think it's so cool.
So you never went and did indies like I did, went out and try to your indie was getting signed by Dusty.
Yeah, just working with George and Stal, the PWF, for 2 years, and then I went and if I wouldn't worked Eric Watts that night, I may not be sitting here telling you these stories today. But I really got to thank and cherish Cowboy Bill Watts and Dusty. And somebody asked me, on a podcast a while back, who was your favorite growing up and who's your favorite today? And it's always been Dusty.
That's a good one to say. I mean, that's a good one. And the opportunities that you were given, you take the opportunities and you run with the football and you score touchdowns. That's a lot of people don't get opportunities, so they sit around. So, okay, this is a fun question.
But George Sal told me, go, shut your mouth, be respectful, and listen, and just keep a positive attitude. And I've always did that. And I've respected all my fellow wrestler brothers and sisters, and I hope they respect me, because I'm the type, if I respect you, I want it back, and I want it the way I give it to you.
Right,
you're going to 100% respect from me.
Well, that's good. That is great to tell these younger guys who are listening, girls that are listening, about listening and being respectful, and this business needs a lot of positive energy and a lot of respect.
And
now,
you
this
can
one's
learn something every day. You can learn something new. Just open your mind to it and be willing to talk to some of the older guys, and you'd be surprised.
You're absolutely right. I doing this promotion the second time around, I'm trying to build bridges instead of blowing them up, not getting too emotional, and trying to help everybody. And I know it's hard. And I everybody that says, wrestling is being a wrestler, you're egotistical, but you sometimes can use that for a force of good, maybe. So I'm just trying to do it in a different way and trying to give people opportunities. That's whatever I can. And Larry can attest to that. I'm just trying to give people opportunities in the podcasting world and in, maybe wrestling for me. So,
and don't forget where you come from. Don't take things for granted. Get where you come from. Don't live above your raising. And just
never heard of that one.
Just enjoy it.
Okay, I got 2 more quick questions here. Your favorite movie of all time?
Oh my God!
Please don't say Goonies.
No. Can I give 2? Because they're right there.
Sure.
I'm gonna say Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke and Tombstone.
Okay.
Nice.
Where we had just signed our contract, and we were living in Marietta wrestling for WCW. And we had rode out to a theater one night and went and seen, it had just come out that night, and we went and watched Tombstone together. And that was when it first come out. So that's always been one of my favorite movies.
So every time it's on, you're watching the whole way through when you're
Yeah.
surfing.
Sling Blade. I love Sling Blade.
Nice. One word that describes Henry Godwinn, but I'll give you 2 or 3 because it's you.
A big silly, happy, very emotional, caring, considers other people's feelings. That's me.
Cool. I appreciate that. And
Very good.
I know me and Larry appreciate you coming on and taking the time to come on. And ladies and gentlemen, before we go, Mr. Henry Godwinn on August 24th from 12 until 6 o'clock will be at the APWF in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, signing autographs, having his action figures, having his dolls, shirts, and everything. And once again, just tell everybody once again before we get out of here what they can expect at the APWF when you show up.
Oh, just a good time. We may get loud. Things may get sloppy. We'll have a lot of pictures. We'll chew the fat and have a good time, and just celebrate Ed's life.
Cool. I thank you for doing that because I'm a wrestling guy, but I'm also a comic book guy myself. And yeah. So I mean, I appreciate you doing that for Potter, because Potter is one of the good guys in the business in this area. So
And then,
I appreciate all that.
Of course, when we leave there, we're going to go maybe kick some ass and get sloppy up at the show.
APWF. Yeah, the APWF. And we appreciate you coming up, a lot of talk for you coming in, signing autographs. So,
well, good.
Yeah. So
I
appreciate, yes. And I appreciate you coming on, Henry. So before we get out of here, how can people get a hold of you if they want to book you for any type of event, or they want to get a hold of you, they want to buy your merchandise? How can they get a hold of you?
Instagram is Henry O. Godwinn, all one word.
Okay. And
That's
Henry, before you leave, I totally appreciate you coming on. And if you have anything you ever want to promote, if you ever want to come back on, you are a welcome guest on the Triple B Experience anytime. And it was honestly an honor having you on the show. And I appreciate it. No, I totally appreciate it.
If they're out there, if you guys are around the 24th, come check us out. And, hopefully we can get a million subscribers so the BSK can go to WrestleMania, and God bless this country.
God bless you, Henry. God bless everybody and everybody. Larry, thank you so much for coming on. Henry, thank you so much.
Henry.
So much for coming on. And I can't wait to see you the 24th. So
going to be
Going
to be a hell of a weekend.
Yes, it is. Okay, everybody. Thank you guys, and have a great night. And we will see you guys on the Triple B Experience.